All right, here we are with Phoenix, who is the chapter president of Veterans for Peace here in Seattle. Isn't that right?
Correct.
All right. Nice to meet you, Phoenix. So we're out for an action today. Hands off Venezuela, right?
Correct. In solidarity and support of those who have been arrested for their advocacy at the embassy, both here in DC, but then also our board president of VFP National, Jerry Condon, was actually just brutalized.
I saw that.
And arrested down in Venezuela.
For tossing a cucumber.
Right, they were trying to deliver food to those who are otherwise not being supported or nourished or cared for. And that's actually really important in this type of frontline work, is making sure that really basic needs are met, which is also very congruent with what we advocate for.
And those people were invited by the legitimate Venezuelan government to occupy that building so that the opposition didn't just come and run roughshod, right?
Right, and as much as we can get consumed by our perspective on Venezuelan politics, I think part of the messaging here that I'm trying to help support within my chapter and others, and although we all have our analysis on it, that it's really important to support like the autonomous governing of Venezuela, free of any U.S. intervention, right? So including our own, like what we think should be happening, like it really should just be their country, their decision, not only just not us exploiting or creating any interruption, but then also not trying to replace that with our assertion, entitlement of an opinion over how their government should be ran any other way.
Yeah, we're not Venezuelans.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, that's what it comes down to, isn't it?
Yes, very simply, but yes.
Yeah, I'm not a Venezuelan. Sorry, I don't get a vote for them.
Yeah.
And
I mean, even geographically, right? And so I know that, you know, yet another situation where oil is involved.
And the oil oligarchy.
Figure, and then all of a sudden, and all of a sudden we have an opinion over somebody's humanitarian needs, which is very, echoes, very reminiscent of Iraq and Afghanistan.
All of it.
Right.
Well, at least they aren't sending in the tanks and the bombers like they did because of with Gaddafi and Hussein and those other people that challenged the petrodollar.
Right.
That was their crime.
And let's also remember that it's an ongoing war.
Absolutely.
It still hasn't ended. Yeah.
All right, so talk to me about Veterans for Peace.
Well, Veterans for Peace, just to start from the beginning, Veterans for Peace really came out of the Vietnam era. So a lot of veterans who have experienced violence firsthand, who were hand of the U.S. Imperialism and colonialism and white supremacy, came back and realized that there really wasn't, that it was really traumatizing. And there's a lot of things that are happening that are absolutely not only just illegal, but just immoral, unethical. So there's a lot of iconic photos of veterans during the Vietnam era that we've seen out in the streets, carrying the signs, and then the Vietnam Veterans Against the War was created, but then out of that continued Veterans for Peace, establishing in 1985 officially. And so since then there has been hundreds of chapters nationally and internationally that have spurted up through that. And so the peace movement has been going strong for quite a long time.
And that's my gig, was the Vietnam era. And what I discovered was when we were dropping the cluster bombs on Laos and Cambodia, totally illegally, totally under the table, Kissinger and Nixon. And that's where I became really aware of WTF.
And I think that's one of the many things actually that makes me so passionate about Veterans for Peace as an organization is that I think that these stories need to be told. I think that these stories need to be heard also, of the veterans' perspective of like what really happens in war and in conflict. Because it's just every new veteran that I meet that comes to us or that has already put in so much time with Veterans for Peace has a very intimate story of just awful things that they've witnessed or experienced, that the common U.S. public is that truth is kept from them.
That's right. The stories that are sold are not the ones that need to be told. That's pretty good, huh?
You should write that down.
The stories that are sold are not the ones that need to be told. And I'll tell you what, Veterans for Peace, and Jerry out there in D.C. is doing a great job.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. And I think that what's really important is that Veterans for Peace Vietnam era veterans and forward, and even World War II veterans that we have really established a lot of groundwork for post 9/11 veterans to build on. Like, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have this platform if it
Are you a vet?
I served, yeah, post 9/11 active duty Air Force, and then I was a contractor for the Army Guard for a bit.
Oh, okay. So you were in the Air Force?
Correct.
So was I. Give me five.
Oh, nice.
I wrenched on 41s,
many of us.
141s.
Okay.
That's how I figured out about, hey, what are they doing with all this stuff?
Yeah, so you might be interested to hear about our this campaign, Who is Boeing Bombing? That
I saw that
ILPS,
yesterday.
International League for People's Struggle, and Gabriella has a younger group of activists that have really, I really have just a lot of admiration for their enthusiasm and their perspective, the research they have done. Because Veterans for Peace has also talked about Boeing extensively. And so we're excited for those developments and see how we can.
Well, that's cool. And so, give me the website here in Seattle. The web
question.
address.
I think if you just Google Veterans for Peace Seattle, it'll just pop up. I think it's vfp92.org.
92, right? Yeah.
Yeah. We have a Facebook. We have a social media. So click and like and follow and share that. My vision for this next year is to continue to open up space for other post 9/11 veterans to feel empowered and encouraged to share their voice, to share their story, and to advocate wherever they feel comfortable. For issues that really matter, because it's not just about the war, it's not just about the bombing, but Veterans for Peace and being anti-war. You can't be anti-war without being anti-racist. You can't be anti-war without being anti-sexist or against xenophobia or any other type of pressures for gender or race or class.
And my latest effort in the veteran arena is SaveVeteranLives.com, and what that's about is I just can't take any more veteran suicides. There's just so many. So I've gotten together with
very personal connection with that. So actually, what I did do for the Army Guard was I was a suicide prevention program manager.
Really?
In Oregon, and then I started suicide prevention or intervention, and then teaching that class, which was funny as a young airman having to sit down with colonels who don't have the time and don't have the time to be sitting in a 2-day class. So it's been about 14 years now that I've been an advocate for mental
See, this
health.
is. You want to hold that up for the camera?
Yep.
That's right. SaveVeteransLives.com. And what it's all about is how to navigate the VA system to save your own life.
Perfect. So we definitely need that.
Because I've done it 4 times. And that's where I became aware that my expertise and experience needs to be shared with other vets, instead of don't scream at the people. It's all about the computer codes that they've got at the station they're working on, and if they can't help you, somebody can, and it's up to you to save your own life. Does that make sense to you?
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, all right. Hey, give me 5. Thank you very much. Pleased to meet you, and I'm sure we'll do some stuff.
I think we will.
Thank you.